All systems go. Clear for liftoff. What's up, everyone? Tyler Tamboline here, aka ToeTagginTambo. This episode of I can't even do it like out of the gate. I knew this was gonna happen, Hoop. So I just want to start the show and just tell people like it is. Like this is what it's gonna be. So obviously we got some devastating news yesterday. I have some notes here that we're gonna focus on. I know Hoop has a few words. I got a few words, but we sent a message to the Discord this morning over at SHIPIT Nation. I really don't suspect too many people are gonna show up to watch a Charles Schwab golf show from us this week, but I will say there's no need to announce the episode or whatever like that. Like I got a few things to go through, Hoop, but maybe you'll do a better job starting it off. For somebody who usually has a lot to say, I don't think I'll have as much today, but James would want us to do this. So you want to pass along the news maybe?
Yeah, it's the important part. He definitely want us to do it. I mean, obviously if you follow us anywhere, Twitter, in our Discord, you know the unfortunate news that James passed away Sunday. 15-month battle with cancer, and I mean he fought it. I mean he fought it hard. You look at someone going through that, and I think it's almost like human nature to try to put yourself in their shoes and like could you do that? Would you have the strength personally to do it? Would you have the fight in you to do it? And it's I don't know, it's kind of hard to say that whether or not you would. It's hard to see it, and we were right there, many calls with them talking through it, and it was tough. I mean it definitely was tough. I just can't even imagine, but he gave it his all. I mean, and no surprise. I mean, anyone that knew him, I mean, I know a lot of the people in the chat have known him even much longer than I have and you have. I mean, he had a army behind him, a community that he built up, and they loved him. They loved him a lot, and man, it's he definitely gave it his all, and passed away Sunday. So it's tough for our community. Tough for anyone that really crossed paths with him. I mean, it's a lot of the comments are very similar, like the impact that he's had on people in this industry, and a lot of people that he's never met, and that they're going to have lasting memories and long-term memories of James, and what he did for them in this industry. And sad news. I mean, there's no good way to say it. And it's going to be a tough show, and it's probably not going to be talking much Charles Schwab. I mean, we're just not up to the task today. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, neither of us are. We'll try to get in there a little bit and chat through it, but we will have the Wednesday show tomorrow. Luke will be diving into that. But for us here on the show, it's tough, and I put the message in Discord, and I'll send it to anyone in YouTube, because I know everyone kind of deals with things differently, this sort of thing differently. But man, like anything I can do, Tambo can do to help you if you're having a hard time with this, just reach out. I mean, if you want to hop on a call and chat, or get in Discord and chat, or whatever it may be, text, like, man, I want to be there for anyone that's having a hard time with this. Because I mean, I just last night going through Twitter, going through the Discord messages, I read every single one, and kind of helped me work through this whole process. It's just just refreshing, I'd say, to hear all the nice messages that people had. So that's
you saved me.
What I got.
You took me off the intro. Thank you. That's what I needed to hear, and really appreciate that. Obviously it's tough. I see all the comments coming in. I, like you, stayed up all last night. I literally read every single comment. I liked as many as I possibly could. There was just so many good messages. It's what you said. I don't have too many words beyond sort of what I put out there last night, because it's hard to talk about. But I will say that it's what everybody said. The people that knew him were very lucky, and that's what was so special to them. The ones that didn't know him felt like they knew him, and that's an impact that not everybody can say that they'll make. So just want to say, a few things. Hoop got me through the first part, but just teardrop and Tambo over here today. But I will say that we put together a couple things. So a lot of people are messaging, DMing, coming out, which obvious reasons, and we do appreciate all of it. We got some really special stuff planned. Like this is, I keep saying it to people, but it's just different how everybody processes it. Like Hoop just said, if you something could happen, which we knew with James's diagnosis and the way I'm talking to him all the time, Hoop's talking to him all the time. He's sending everybody messages, doing his best to work through what he's doing, but he's always feeling bad about letting people down. And we're telling him, family, health, all these different things, just do whatever, man. We support you. We got you. The whole community is here. It's hard because it's basically like he's putting that out there and you're trying to do as much as you possibly can. So I'll just say this. We have plans, but it hits you hard when it happens. So it's not like we can just make them happen overnight. There's logistics to it. I know people want to donate money. We have a huge plan around that. It's going to be a SHIPIT donation. We're going to set up a GoFundMe, and we are going to have a counter. All right. In true Degen75 spirit, we're going to have and I'll say one on this show. I'll say fuck cancer counter. And we're going to start it at these 3 zeros. And we hope by the end of it to see a lot more zeros. This will be 100% of the profits, obviously going to James. So in support of James, where it needs to go, medical bills, all these different factors. I mean, the guy's just worth, it's priceless. There's not a value you can put on James, but just to note it, we have support in place from SHIPIT Nation, taking care of him and his family and next of kin. So it's going to be all taken care of from that perspective. I think we're going to have a bit of a contest. DraftKings has already reached out. So I think we're going to have a contest that goes with the donations, and sort of anyone who makes a donation will get in the contest. If there is other sites, anybody out there that wants to hop in, the profits will all go to James. That's the whole point of it. The whole point will be maybe we play for some prizes in true SHIPIT spirit or something. The winner gets the big prize. I don't know what it will be, but if anybody out there from any other sites are watching in the community, the fantasy space, the DFS industry, anything you could possibly have, everything's welcome. You can reach out to Hoop or I. We'll put it all in the pool and be able to build it out from there. And I think the other thing I wanted to talk about was just June 11th. Big guy loved his majors. The U.S. Open is coming up. I think it would just be too rushed to spend too much time right now on trying to create everything. And just it's always good to sort of let everybody grieve in their own way. Have sort of actually hit them. I know it's just for a lot of people right now, it's super tough. So including myself. So just to note it, we will have a June 11th celebration stream here on the channel. We're going to have a tribute. They'll be sharing memories. We'll try and get as many people involved as we possibly can. And we know everyone's out there to support us. So we're going to have some fun with that one and celebrate Big Guy in the way he should be celebrated. And we got a ton of other little things planned along the way, but his legacy will live on. We've told him that from day one when he gave us his original diagnosis, which was just a week after the merger with Degen75 and SHIPIT. But Hoop, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add. Be a good time.
Yeah, it is. It's just wild how things work, man. I mean, things operate in mysterious ways. I mean, like you kind of alluded to, I don't know if everyone knows this, but we were kind of talking with James for a couple months trying to get this deal done, where we came together under one umbrella and kind of started working towards the bigger goal of growing this. And it took us a while to get to the point where we came to an agreement, and we were excited. We had a lot of plans and a lot of business conversations about next steps. And James is very passionate about YouTube views and, building up the YouTube channel. So a lot of those conversations made the deal. And it was, it might've been even less than a week, probably right around a week, where he got this diagnosis, a week after the merger took place. And it's just crazy to think. Like it just seems, it's just one of those weird things, like the timing of everything. And, that I just want to throw that out there. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but that was like part of this whole process. And I feel like, man, you go from a high it was just a high, man. All right, our businesses are merged. We're going to go full steam ahead. Your community with our community, it's going to be great. And everyone's excited and pumped up. And like one of the main people behind the deal gets the worst possible news 7 days after like some very exciting news, like a matter of a week. So like you get that week period where everyone's pumped up, ready to go. And then you get just earth shattering news. And it just is like I can still remember, and I'll obviously never forget this. I mean, I will never, ever forget the initial conversation. It was a Friday morning. Got to talk to you guys. Like, oh, great. Maybe you have some business ideas, right? We're ready to go. Like, man, we did this merger's fully complete. We got, everything under one umbrella. I mean, he's up and at it on a Friday morning. He's probably was thinking about some business ideas. Can't wait. We hop on the call with them, and was not that conversation at all. Like nothing close to that conversation. And the complete opposite conversation. So you go from the highs of the merger to someone you thought you're going to be in business with for a long period of time, telling you that they don't have much longer to live. And there's no way you can prepare yourself for that conversation. And not that our situations matter at all, but we're all similar age, within 3 to 4 years of each other. So somebody your age that you just became business partners with telling you they're likely to die relatively soon. It's not how things are supposed to be. And it's just not how things are supposed to go. And it's not fair. And it just shows you that like life isn't fair, and just can't take anything for granted at all. You just cannot. And it's like, got the news the other day, and like the first thing that, I'm thinking is like, that's just, how is that fair? Somebody like him, and like just stripped of the opportunity. It's like, why him? Why not me or somebody else? Like, why is it him that has had to deal with this for 15 months? And it just, there's just no way to justify it, I guess. And man, it's just it sucks. But man, he fought, man. That is one thing you can say. And I kind of go back to what I had talked about in the opening. It's like you don't want to, but like you're forced to put yourself in that situation when you're talking with somebody going through this. Like, you put yourself in that situation, and man, I don't know if I could have done what he did over the course of the last 15 months. I can honestly say that. Like, I can just honestly say, I just don't know if I would have the strength to do what he did. And I have a family. I have 2 young kids. I can't say for sure I could do what he did.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I could. And that's part of, the message I put out last night, and just gathering all my thoughts while you're sitting here talking. I'm barely listening, but seeing some of these comments show up, I think a lot of what you were just talking about is, like Andrew says, always here supporting. Appreciate you, Andrew. And I know you reached out, but he says James was doing shows up until a couple weeks ago and was in Discord until last week. Just not many people in the world like him. We'll miss you in the community. It's a huge loss for everybody. This is a prime point. If you think back to some of the things he was doing, like macing himself in the eyes with the spray and stuff, like all while this is all going on, and he's creating bits and coming up with stuff. And it's just insane to think about. Very, very hard. And I love Jordan's comment. That's kind of the message I put out there last night. That was it was already a true inspiration. People loved him before any of the diagnosis, of course, but that made it even more inspirational when you wouldn't even have known, like, some of the shows. Like, if he didn't tell you on the show, he's hooked up on the show to his gear. It's like, this guy is literally getting on a show hooked up to cancer treatments and things that he has to do for his health and for those purposes. So things like that are just true standouts. And just too many good comments. I called him a true one of one. That'll be a consistent theme. Shout out to Joanne who was here. This was kind of another thing, actually, is when we had that first call where he let us know, and there was a lot of that day was really tough. Like you said, I don't think we really knew what this was going to be about. It definitely didn't. I didn't think it was going to be good by the way he framed up the text message to us, but it was like, what could it possibly be? That was the least possible thing. I thought something with the numbers, the deal, the back end, like something could be wrong, and we'll just fix it and it'll be easy. This is unfortunately not fixable. And he talked about this, and I know you're big hoop too on, like, everything happens for a reason, but this was a major thing. So I thought this was interesting.
Yeah, and the one theme reading through all the messages last night, and I started thinking about it a little bit more. I mean, so many messages were related to uniqueness and one of one and nobody like him, and like so many of the messages, and that's like the lasting impact I think he had on a lot of people. How it's like a true one of one situation. There's nobody that is going that can do what he did or be like him. So I started thinking like a little bit more and like what made him like a true one of one. And I think it goes beyond just the content. Like if you watched his content, you know for sure like nobody could do what he's doing, like you talked about, like macing himself and like all the off the cuff stuff. Like nobody has ever, we've been around I've been around DFS for 12 years now. I've seen content. I've seen it. Nobody in that period of time since the inception of DFS has done content like he's done. I don't think anyone can do it. You're not going to be able to find someone that can do the shows. First off, like if you've never done this stuff before, the hardest part, and I've said this a million times, is doing a solo show. It's not easy to do a solo show just in general, just going in there and talking picks and plays. Like it's hard to do a solo show. I absolutely suck at it. Like I'm terrible at doing it. It's not hard. It's not easy to do. But then you throw in all the other stuff. He's not just doing picks and plays. He's talking strategy. He has these bits, and he's so passionate about it, so into it. Like it is literally a true one of one unique scenario. Nobody has ever been able to do it, and no one's going to be able to replicate that sort of content. So that's like one angle. But to me, it goes beyond the uniqueness of just the content. What you saw him doing on those shows was James. There's not two sides of James. There's not like a showman James where he's getting on there doing those shows and then he gets off the show and it's a totally different person. You see that a lot, I'm sure, Hollywood and stuff like that. These actors on screen are completely different when they're off screen. That's obviously a bigger picture situation. But in terms of him, what you saw on the screen is literally the exact same person that we would talk to in business meetings, when he's with his friends, when he's talking. It's literally the exact same person. So I think that is the reason why so many people were drawn to him, because it's just so relatable. You can see how authentic he is on those shows. And that was him. That wasn't a show. That wasn't a production. That was James. Business meetings, conversations about his health, conversations about his family. It's the same person, same person, same person. And again, it's beyond just the uniqueness of his content. Like that is him, and he stuck to that. And I think that's the reason why he's left a lasting impact on so many people. Almost everyone he's touched. I mean, and you see this all the time when people pass away. Like, oh yeah, such a good guy, he's gonna be missed. Blah blah blah. Like this is different, man, and it truly is different. Like he touched so many people that he's never met before, like never even had conversations with people that watch the YouTube shows. Like he has left a lasting impact on all those people in a positive way, not a negative way, in a very, very positive way. And it's just a good person all around. I mean, there's just no other way to put it, just a good person. And one final thing that I wanted to mention, and it goes back to that conversation that we had with him, and it was reiterated throughout the last 15 months when he battled, and not only to us, because I've seen comments that he made to other people, and it was the same message, which again it kind of goes back to, if I was in his shoes, could I do this? And I know he meant this, and he said it so many times to us, and you can obviously back it up because you were there for the conversations. The first conversation he had with us telling us about this unfortunate diagnosis was, and it's like so hard to fathom, but it's like he said this with a straight face, and I know he meant it, and because he said it multiple times, I'm not afraid to die. He's like, I am not afraid to die. I can tell you that. He goes, it's probably going to happen soon, and I am not afraid of it. He goes, but I am afraid to let everyone down. And he said that so many times. Not afraid to die, afraid to let everyone down. So this industry, till the day he died, was on his mind. Like this was his passion. He loved this community. He loved this industry. Talked about it all the time. And this was a second family to him. This community, this industry, everyone, not even just SHIPIT Nation members, not Degen75 members. This industry was a second family to him, and that statement I'll never forget. It's the honestly something I thought about a lot, popped in my head a ton recently. I'm not afraid to die. I'm afraid to let everyone down. And a goal of mine, and I feel pretty comfortable talking for Tambo in regards to this, a goal of mine and his moving forward. This isn't going to be a business show. Obviously, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't want anyone to sign up from the show. A goal of ours is anyone that associated themselves with James, we want to do our best to not let anyone down. That was a wish of his, and we're going to do everything possible from his family to the Degen75 community, the SHIPIT Nation community. We'd never want anyone to feel let down. And it's a strong message and something that I'm going to keep in my mind moving forward.
Yeah, just a few more things I want to say. And one is around that. It's actually the last text that I ever got from James. And the last line, through everything, through all of it, he still said this. Trust me, guys, I reassured him a million times in these texts. There's so many texts to go through. But the very last line he ever wrote me, I hope you can understand all this and forgive me for it all, as if it was his fault. And there's no chance.
Yeah.
It's made me think of that. I want to talk more happy stuff, but that was the last line he ever wrote to me. We talk daily. Think about he was talking about everybody else and all that. He truly thought he was letting people down, and there's just no chance at all.
Yeah.
This guy, he is the show. Shout out to Dollar Bill here. It summed up what Hoop said. No one can do this. He said he somehow was elite with his energy, knowledge, wit, teaching, and relatability all at the same time. That's because when it's actually who you are and it's that genuine and raw and that authenticity, it's just who you are. It's not, there is no, like you said about actors or honestly, it's a lot of content creators, different things, tons of the screen time that people go through in the run of the day and what you see on TV and all this stuff. It's like, it's all a facade. He found a way to be able to do exactly what he loved. And I love the line that Dollar Bill, who was very close to him and to us, put in there and says about teaching. He always had a lesson, even when he didn't know it. That's when I put it in my message last night. He impacted people more than he knows because it was just second nature to him. People that don't know, he was originally a teacher. That's what he retired from. And he always was teaching lessons no matter what it was. If he was talking YouTube strategy for views, he really wanted more views, but he would teach the relatability and the teaching side of it on how to get them. It wasn't just, get more views. So I think there's that. And then the only other thing I wanted to say actually was just about one of his very special tools that he brought over. And I want to relate, I know it's a golf show, but we're never getting there, but just to note it, the stone. The stone was a big deal, and I'm trying to make it more happy now and bring some more fun to this because, people talking cutting onions and allergies. I feel the same way, and I'm trying to flip the switch. But we love all you. We appreciate you. This is hard. I'm just being vulnerable. The setup, it was called the Rosetta Stone. For those that don't, plenty will remember that are watching this right now, especially. And him and I always went back and forth on marketing stuff. This is kind of a funny story. And I said, it was in the Discord. People probably saw the picture. I took the Justin Timberlake from Social Marketing or what's that movie called? I forget now. Social Network.
Social networking.
Yeah. When he says drop it's just Facebook or whatever the line was. I forget exactly what it was. And I said, drop the Rosetta. It's just the stone. And he goes, do we have to do that? And I was like, we don't have to. But I said, it's like kind of like Rosetta Stone is like a language thing. I was like, we're trying to do this as big as possible. Let's just roll with the stone. It's cleaner. And he was always open to it. He always it doesn't matter if he agreed, disagreed. We had back and forth battles. People know about the mush and things like that, just totally different things. But in that situation, it was so cool just to see him just be like, you're in on it, Tambo. You're all for it. Let's do it. And just a little story on it was, not only will that live on with us forever, that is literally part of his legacy. The stone, we adapted it to all sports at SHIPIT Nation as just a cheat sheet that makes everything easier for people to use. But it's nothing to do with that as much as him and I didn't talk about this a lot. But one thing I always had in the back of my mind, and I wish we did talk about it was the stone wasn't just a tool for DFS. The stone is a mantra. And James's thing was always chipping away, contest selection, bankroll management, just stick around, because sustainability is a key word he always used. Sustainability, because you don't know when your big hit is going to happen, but you can't have a big hit if you're not around to be in the game, right? He would always preach this, and I love that. And him and I connected on strategy and being a part of that. And I had another quote here. It was actually, just the way things work out. It's funny. It was the PGA Championship a year ago. So this sad news is coming at this PGA Championship. It's a little bit of a golf story, but when Xander Schauffele won, and it was his first major, and his dad couldn't be there and all of that, and they talked about this, and they have their own mantra, Xander and his dad, Stefan, and it was a steady drip caves a stone, talking about his efforts to get better. And it just saying that you don't just crack into the stone and it happens. You have to keep putting your time in, and you keep putting the work in, you put yourself in those positions, and that's how but have fun doing it while you're doing it. Don't do it if you hate it, do it if you love it, and keep putting your time in. And then Max Homa said the same thing later himself. It came from a Kobe Bryant, the stonecutter credo, if you will, like he had it taped to his locker. And it talks about the guy that tries to break the stone with an axe or a pick, and he hits it 100 times and it doesn't break. But then on the 101st time, it breaks, and he knows it's not the 101st time that breaks the stone. It's the 100 times previous of putting in the work that led to the stone breaking, and just how huge that achievement feels. And if you talk to people that get their first big win, which James led a lot of people to their first big wins and many more beyond that, 6-figure scores, milli makers, you name it. One of his last tweets, actually, on a separate note, shout out to our guy ScarX24, Scarberry, tagged James in the tweet. So before we got the news, the last tweet that James was tagged in was a thank you for helping somebody win $1 million, which is what he's all about. So very fitting. But it was just to say that you put the work in, you put your time in, you stick around, you have fun doing it, never take anything for granted, chip away at that stone, and then the glory can be yours. So shout out to the big guy. I said it yesterday. He took care of everyone, the Bobs, the mother fathers, the guy in the back. But now, big guy in the big sky. That's what I'm going to call him. He's looking down on all of us. We really appreciate him. We won't forget him. He will live on throughout with everything that we do, and we've got a ton planned moving forward. Hopefully that helps sort of get some of the messaging out there, but make sure to stay tuned. We've got a lot planned upcoming. The GoFundMe, as soon as we have it ready, will be out for everybody. And just to go back to it, if you missed it earlier, the fuck cancer counter will go up a lot higher than $0.
We need a lot of zeros to the left of the decimal point. That's the goal. As many zeros as possible to the left of the decimal point. Hope to get that up and running relatively soon. I know a lot of people have reached out. Just bear with. We want to do it right, and we have big plans for this. Obviously, Tambo's kind of alluded to it, so just bear with us. We're going to get it set up properly and rolled out hopefully soon. You touched on the stone. I mean, that's obviously something that we took from the Rosetta Stone, like you said. We've implemented that in all of our sports now. His projections for Showdown remain the same. So he wanted to make sure, moving forward, we kept things in place. Nothing's changing for us. I mean, one thing is changing, and it's the most unfortunate part about the whole thing is we don't get James on Wednesday night, and it was the best show in PGADFS. We don't get him for Showdown videos anymore. That is the worst part. I mean, terrible. He did a hell of a job. Nobody can replace him. But in terms of our content, it is, going to remain the same. We've obviously worked with him over the, last 15 months to make sure that was the place and everything set up. And man, it just not seeing him on those streams. I remember back, man, like before I knew who he was, like before I even watched his stream, you knew him, you had a relationship with him. And I remember you're like, man, you got to check this guy out. Like, he does a hell of a job. And like, the first time you watch him on a show, you're like, oh my gosh, what did I just witness? Like, is this real? Like, this is like a gold mine here. Like, this guy is phenomenal. Nobody does anything like this. It's different. It's unique. A lot of people say they're not about picks and plays, but it's like, they're about picks and plays. Like when you watch James, it is hitting on every single aspect, strategy, weather, roster construction, which contest to enter, bankroll management, and hit time, and all the important parts. I watched it. The first show I watched, I was like, wow. This guy is talented, beyond talented. And, shortly after that is when we started talking with him about, coming under one umbrella. And, but the first time you see him on air, man, it's like, it's definitely an unforgettable thing. It's like, this is different. It's unique, and it is fucking awesome.
The best. Yeah. I don't have, too much else to add. I think the only other thing I was going to say, and I think most members saw it, but if they're watching it back late, is we did do up a legacy logo that does signify the story we told earlier about James, and just, mentioning. So like what you said, it was all to come together as one. It's not that he's definitely a true one of one. Like I said, that's the thing that just people constantly keep saying because it's the facts, but the idea of everyone coming under one roof, and even with some short term, we're open about everything. We're always so transparent. It was like there was some growing pains when everything first started happening and coming into the same Discord and all that, but it was all solved in a matter of a week. Like, it was so quick, and so many people came around and said, like, wow, this, I'm really glad you guys did this. You put us together. You really put us all in the right place. And that's what he wanted. That's why he, I think Rio posted it yesterday. It's kind of dark, but he said, that's James. He's raw. He's unfiltered, vulnerable himself in every moment, no matter what. And he said, ship it nation to the grave. He's like, he's trying to sell as many packages and trying to do all that. And we were just like, you just got to focus on your health. Family and health always come first. We've always said that. You can take slates off, you can take time off, you can take whatever you need. This guy's still going out shipping 300K in the best ball streets, winning 50K here in the showdown streets. He's literally like, he's doing it all on top of everything that he was going through. And it's more than people even know. And it's, an extra piece, but the guy was going through a lot on top of everything that you do know. So it's just in the sense, you never know what somebody's going through. The way he always said it and signed off in the later shows was, don't take anything for granted. Don't take majors for granted. Have fun. Listen to the content. If you're losing money and pissed off about it, then you're doing the wrong thing. Like, it's not what you should be in it for. And there's ways to balance it. Go ahead.
So applicable to just all aspects of life too, even just outside of DFS. Like, I was at my son's baseball game when I got the news. They just lost 4-3 game. And I was like, man, so pissed that they lost the game. I wanted him to make a run. And then I looked down at the news. I was like, man, it just puts things into perspective. Like that doesn't mean, that's nothing. That means nothing. Like the lost baseball game means nothing. It just puts everything into perspective. Like, I get to be out here on a Sunday with my son and my family and his friends on a nice sunny day watching baseball. I should be grateful for that. Like, I should be grateful for that opportunity every single day. Like you said, it's just his message is so applicable to all aspects of life. And, the last 15 months, it's been a big part of what we do, obviously, with him, working with him. And I just want to, I want to commit myself to being a better person because of what I've learned from him over the last 15 months. And I mean that. I honestly mean it. I know it's probably like a cliche thing to say when someone dies, oh, I want this to make me a better person. But man, I really want this to make me a better person, our community better people, just the industry better altogether. It's an opportunity just to just be grateful for life, man. Just grateful for life and everything that comes with it. Like, days that you're crabby for no reason. Like, why? Like, you wake up and you're in a bad mood. Why? Like, what? Be thankful, be grateful. That's something that I want to work on for sure as a person. And his fight, his inspiration. I mean, just everything. I want to apply it to my life and be better moving forward.
I think everyone does, and I think I can echo that for sure. We talked a lot about it, but when he first was diagnosed as well, just another thing too. He was in the gym. One of the sad parts of it all, and one of the things many maybe don't know, but I think he'd be fine sharing it, was he was working out like crazy. He was trying to get back in shape.
Eating healthy and working out.
Eating healthy and working out. And some of the weight loss that he thought was coming from, the gains or the gym or that sort of thing was part of it is the other side, right? The doctor said like that, did you have any rapid late weight loss? All these things, like he explained it better, but I don't know too much of, I guess the idea is that's one of the symptoms or one of the signs of something not being right. So when everything sort of went through it, it was like, oh shit, like this wasn't added on top. So I know I'm in the best shape I've been in a long time. And a lot of it stems from that. I saw Levitan, Adam Levitan, who most know it there, he posted about his colonoscopy that he went for well before age 40. And when people recommend 50 and all this stuff, he's like, he said it best. And when I was at one of the live finals last year, he actually came up and introduced himself to me and said, really sorry to hear about James. So shout out to Levitan, give him some praise. But he said, I went and got my colonoscopy, and I went. I know Hoop went. Like we just hit us really hard, and it made me want to sort of focus on that. So that's the thing about a special person like James. It wasn't just the DFS lessons. It wasn't just that. Even within DFS lessons, there's life lessons, all things that I've always tried to put together myself, but he does such a good job of it where that will be what lives on with me is continue telling messages that you can relate to both life, DFS, bring it all back together, have fun doing what we love to do. And I don't think this was the one I saw there. Shout out to Nick, who's another person really close to James. And yeah, Nick, we go way back ourselves. But I mean, I certainly remember, for those that don't, if they don't remember when James came on the scene, I know GS Luke showed an old Twitter DM with them. I actually haven't been able to go back to these yet. I went through some texts and it was hard enough as it is, but so I thought I would share the latest one he sent just to give the story. But I don't remember the first message I sent him, honestly, but I do remember it was because of the original shows. And if anyone doesn't remember, he was the running joke was I got my friends say I can't get to 1,000 subs on YouTube, prove them wrong, and then just powered through being exactly who he was and making an impact on everybody watching. And the thing about YouTube is it is very algorithm based, right? Like if you don't get the hook or if you don't bring them in or if you don't, everything he did was down to a science and he had it figured out to be the most impactful, the best, while still being exactly who he was. And that was the original thing, was trying. And I was there when it was around 100 subscribers. That I'm proud to say that I was there. And from there on, and that's when I was sending Hoop, I remember messages being like, this guy, like you have got to see this. And I think it was somewhere around that time too, like getting Mayo involved. And I was even saying to him, I was like, this guy, like this is the guy. And it was just something about him. And now, you can put a finger on, it's lots of different things about him. But like I said yesterday, unfiltered, raw, always unapologetically himself and vulnerable. I suck at technology, he would tell you. I'm an idiot when it comes to this stuff. I got editor help me out. He told it like it was, but he was also always honest. And it's really hard to come by that in anything. It's a huge loss to us. It's a huge loss to the community, the DFS industry, the world, and he'll forever be remembered. There's no doubt about it. Like you said, people say, oh, I'll remember this guy, or, oh, that's sad. This is one that really hits. And I don't think, I really don't think it's sunk in for a lot of people yet, even though they think it has.
Yeah, well said. I mean, definitely well said. I mean, it's hell of a guy, man. I mean, just a hell of a guy, and it's just inspirational to see what he did. And we kind of said it a lot in the show, but it is just so true, just so true. And again, like the one thing I want to take away, what he said at the end of his shows, to appreciate the time and the opportunities that you have, because it's easy to get in a routine and just kind of go with the flow and not appreciate what you have going on. And I think we can all find something that we should be thankful for in life on a daily basis, not just, here and there. On a daily basis, there's a lot for all of us to be thankful for. And I want to, and this, it's true. We do need to be reminded of it because it's easy to kind of forget about it, but man, a lot to be grateful for. And I'm gonna take his sign-offs to the shows towards the end and really make that a part of my life moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's well said. And I think the main point on that is just it can always be a lot worse. Like everyone thinks, oh, it's the worst thing that ever happened to me, or this sucks, or anything. First of all, just think even relating to DFS, like James would want, if you come in second in a tournament and you give it bad beat, it's like, yeah, but it could be a lot worse. You're still winning a bunch of money. You're doing what you love. You had a good score. You put yourself in position. There's so many positives to take away, and somebody else won. But remember, if you've got a win or when you won, somebody else got screwed. And that was them feeling shitty in that moment, but you got the good one. It's like in poker. And he's got a lot of friends from the poker streets too. Scott Bloomstein, who I got to meet, and D-Seep, and those guys, just incredible at poker and DFS. And these guys are awesome dudes. And I'm sure they get this all the time, but in the poker streets, oh, I got bad beat because kings beat my aces. It's like, yeah, but how many times did your twos crack aces and threes and a set of fives and whatever? Like, you never remember. You don't always think about, I guess I should put, the bad things that you did to other people. You think only about the bad things that happened to you, but remember, somebody always has it worse. There's always a much worse situation. If you can do that, and I work on it daily, trust me, I'm not afraid to admit it. I make a ton of mistakes. I'm always working on being a better person, husband, father, friend, you name everything, son, all these different factors without naming them all. The same thing that James was to everybody. It's hard to put it into words, but it's definitely something that just something like this helps put it into perspective. So I don't really have too much else to add, Hoop. I'm going to recap quick and just let people know, but the GoFundMe will be out soon. Like I said, there's logistics to it. We really appreciate everybody's patience. It has to be the right way. We have to do things the right way. We know a lot of people want to give. We're excited about it. We are going to be giving and getting that money 100% of the profits. I don't even know what GoFundMe holds. It's just the sort of above board way in a situation like this to make sure it goes to the right person. It's the right avenue. It's the right way to do it. So we'll let you know when that comes out. June 11th is a Wednesday night, just to know, just so you guys know the plan. We're going to do a real Golf Tuesday show that week. Not going to get there this week personally, but just to note it, we are going to do a real golf show on that Tuesday because it's a major, gets all the information out there quickly. And then we're going to plan to have the celebration stream Wednesday evening at the same Lord's time zone that James always had his streams. And the only emergency with this one is that you need to set an emergency reminder on your calendar. You definitely want to be there for this one. There's going to be a lot of, today is more just like, informing, talking through it, struggling through it, trying to give you guys as much information as possible, be vulnerable and share. That is going to be an event in itself, a full, honest tribute, sharing memories. We want to bring a lot of memories to the chat. We want everybody to be there. We'll make sure we're bringing them up as we go. Maybe we'll get some special guests. If anybody wants to come on that show and say a few words, by all means, please reach out. We will make it happen. That's the whole point of it. Like we just don't know if we don't want to put anybody on the spot and we don't want to force anything. And I also know from being at other, situational stuff where it's, some people think they want to speak and mean well, but there's a great quote. Actually, I'll give this one and maybe leave it on this. That's the only thing I have anyway. So I'll leave it on this. I got it from James Clear, who a lot of people know. Atomic Habits, a very popular book, but it's talking about in times of grieving and funerals. I don't know if I'll botch it completely, but I'll try and bring it exactly. And it says, at events like celebration of lives, funerals, memorials, tributes, things like that, pretty much everyone knows what to say. Like, nobody knows what to say. Pretty much nobody, I should say, knows what to say. But what actually ends up happening is your actions become your words. Because, well, nobody knows what to say. The action of you just showing up and being there says that you're not alone. And it tells people that we're all in this together. And that's super powerful and impactful and something that's sort of, leaned on me. I was at my aunt's funeral last week. She actually had the same cancer that James had. So it's like there's a lot going on at this time. But I will say that was a long-lasting thing as well that just ties together everything that James speaks for and is known for. Just show up. Just be there. I know today we're not talking about golf, and it is what it is. If you're mad about that, then I don't know what to tell you, but I don't have it in me. So I will say be there if you can be there. If not, you can always watch it back. We'll appreciate that just as much. Yeah. But that's going to be a special day, special event. And that's all I got to say. RIP, Degen75, the big guy in the big sky, the brightest seat in the house. Hoop.
Yep. Never going to forget you, brother. Appreciate everything you've done for this community, this industry, and everyone on a personal level too. Again, for me, it goes beyond the DFS side of things and the gambling side of things. Like, there's a lot we can take away on the personal side of things as well. And that's the impact that he's left on so many people. It's really telling to his true character and who he was as a man. Like he's impacted so many people on a personal level. And it just really goes in a positive way, again, in a very positive way. It just goes to show how special of a person he was. And I'll never forget him.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say, just I didn't fully say it off the top, and I want to just add it at the end. Everyone's sort of thanking us for hopping on doing this, but thank you to everyone else. Thank you to everyone out there that wrote a message. Right. I'm sure his family is seeing all this. We're passing along as much as we can while respecting their privacy at this time, but just making sure your messages are being seen. It's helping people. It truly is. People are seeing these messages, thinking about good thoughts, feeling the feelings they need to feel right now. And you just, like Hoop said earlier, you don't know how people process these things. So the messages are from all over the industry, from different sites, different competitors. It's not about that right now. It's about the DFS industry lost a giant. This is going to be a tough one, but we'll do as much as we possibly can to honor his legacy and make sure it lives on. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching. That's going to do it for this one. For Hoop, for myself, ToeTagginTambo. Let's ship it.